Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video that is part of a group playlist of videos. And this was organized by Kyle. It is a cross-Canada book exchange. There have been some similar ones done, I know, in the United States because I know that Alan at the Library of Alexandria has been involved in one, which is where I think Kyle got the inspiration for doing this video. But we thought that it might be nice to get some Canadian booktubers together and do a similar project. Today, I am the second to last person to get this box, I believe. This came from Jellyfish Reads, who is also located in Newfoundland, and I will be sending it on to Kyle, who is going to receive the final box. It's kind of funny how I came about this. So, you know, typically you would have to send this in the mail, but because Jellyfish and I both live in Newfoundland, it is easier to just find someone who lives in the same town as the person that you're trying to find, as opposed to sending it through the mail. Because when you live in a province this small, there are, you know, maximum 2 degrees of separation between every person. So this was actually hand delivered to me at my door, and I will send it off to Kyle. And I have to say, I'm feeling a bit of pressure being the person to like send it to Kyle, because I feel like this means I should know what Kyle has or hasn't read. And when you read, you know, 800 books a month, it's hard to find books to put in that Kyle will not already have read. So I am feeling the pressure of having to make that decision. I am gonna embarrass myself by opening this box. I'm gonna, you know, try to practice all my safety rules, point these scissors away from the body, even though it's gonna be way easier to cut it. You know what, I'm just gonna move it around so that I can slip it in here and cut. God, this is, yeah. This is embarrassing. Yeah, I feel like I might be in more danger of hurting myself by trying to cut it away from my body than just, you know, slicing it forward. I'm gonna do it. Safety rules be damned. You know, I'm not having a lot of extra success doing it this way either. All right. I'm also not sure, like this feels like it should be the bottom of the box, but I had this, like this sensation that the books were put in this way. This is, I imagine, the most awkward unboxing of this entire playlist, so I apologize. All right, books are falling out, so I'm going to start looking at them. Oh, so coming up first, we have the Oxford Illustrated Jane Austen Sense and Sensibility. This is awesome because actually, I do not have this book. I think I have Pride and Prejudice, which I have read, and I have Persuasion, which I have read. And then I think I might own Emma, but I don't think I have a copy of Sense and Sensibility. And this one has such a pretty purple cover. For anyone who does not know or hasn't been on the channel for a long time, I actually use my books as decor, like in the upper part of my house too. So depending on the season and the color scheme that I have going on, I will change out the colors of books. Like right now there's a pink stack and a blue stack up there, a light blue one from where my daughter and I had decorated for a Valentine's party she organized. So I do like having colorful books because I can add it to those stacks sometimes. So this one is really pretty and definitely a possibility. Where am I going to put these? I'm going to stack them up here and then eventually I'm just going to disappear. After that, oh my gosh, we have Skeleton Crew by Stephen King. I will have to check my shelf to see if this is one that I already own or not. I do have a lot of unread Stephen King books that I picked up either at like yard sales or secondhand bookstores. So I do have a lot of them, but this is a nice one. I haven't read Skeleton Crew, so, you know, I at least know that much, but it may be one that I do have on my shelf already. Next, oh, we have Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. So I have not read this book. I haven't read any of the Lies of Lachlan Moore series. So I haven't read the first book. So I don't know that I would take the second one without having the first one. But it is, again, another possibility. Goodness gracious. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So I have read this book. And I liked it. I didn't love it, so I don't know that this is one that I would make part of my shelves permanently, but it is a really pretty book, so it has that going for it, and this is a really nice copy. I always love the edges like that. I'm scared all of these are gonna fall out and then we have to redo this. Good Omens. I do have a copy of this book. I do not have the white copy. It might be fun to have the black one and the white one side by side on the bookshelf. That seems, greedy. But I do like the white copy of this book, and I love Good Omens. So funny. What a good duo. Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. After this, we have Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I had to read this. I didn't have to read it, I guess, but I read it as part of a book club. I don't know, many, many years ago. And I really like it. I saw the movie before I read the book, even though the book was always in my house. My dad had read the book, I think, before seeing the movie. But I love Jurassic Park. I love the movie. I love the book. The differences between them are really interesting. So if you have not read Jurassic Park, I think it makes for a really good standalone novel experience. I mean, I guess technically it's not a standalone, but you can read it as a standalone. All right. Next up, we have Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. I have not read this. I've been going back and forth on whether or not I would like to read The Expanse, but having a copy of the first book show up on my doorstep seems like a pretty good indication that I should. I really like Daniel Abraham, but the things that I like about his writing, as I have watched reviews of The Expanse, do not seem to be things that are present in The Expanse. So I don't know if he's trying a different style. Obviously, there's two authors who are working on this together, so it's going to be bits and pieces of both of their styles. But I think that I will most definitely keep this one because it seems, like I said, I have been debating whether or not to read it, and just having a copy show up seems like the best time to decide. After that, we have Dream Riders by Taylor Cole. This is the first one that I have never heard of before. It has like a stiffer kind of binding. I don't know if that means that it is more of like an indie pub kind of book, or if that's just the style. But it also doesn't have, oh yes, it does, on the back. What if a couple could manipulate dreams and allow anyone to dream anything in astonishing clarity? What if we could uncover and encourage our deepest desires through dreams? What if I told you that that's already happening and has for millennia? So it sounds like this might be like a bit of a thriller, kind of like sci-fi, magical thriller. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out what is on the cover. I'm like, what is that? I have no idea. Oh, is it a bed? Yes, those are pillows. It's just a weird angle. Sorry. All right. Coming up next, we've got The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I also have not read this. I think I have a copy on Kindle, but sometimes I do like having a book and then having it on Kindle at the same time so that I can go back and forth between them. So this is a definite possibility as well once I see how much I would like to take out of this. Then we have Paternus, which I have heard of but have not read. Oh gosh. Which I believe is a series. This must be the first one. I will quickly look this up as when I pause before I decide exactly what I'm going to take out and put back in. But, oh look, it's even signed. Nice. I think, yes, the Paternus Trilogy, book 1. Never mind, I don't have to look it up. But I probably will end up holding on to this one because I am interested. Slowly disappearing behind this stack of books. The Gatewatch by Joshua Gillingham. This is a really cool cover, which looks kind of like pottery illustrated, like you would expect from an artifact or something. This is by a Canadian author from BC. Nice. So this is his debut novel, was born of his fascination with Norse myths and Icelandic sagas. Nice. This sounds like something that I might enjoy. It's always fun to have something by a Canadian author on the TBR, so this one sounds interesting too. A Touch of Light. I have not read this and I really, really want to. So this I am 100% keeping. I am super excited to read this. I've heard Alan talk about it and of course talk about the sequel. So I would love, 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 love to keep this one. I am absolutely, thank you to whoever put this in, because I have just been thinking that I wanted to buy this and now it has arrived. I really should have thought of a better way to set this up. But, you know, wonky audio, half visible face and all, this is what we are getting. A Prelude to Ashes. So this is a novella that goes with A Touch of Light. So excellent. I will just put that right there and assume that they are both staying here with me. Oh God, no, good thing I have giant hands and arms because I can twist around and reach into this box. Then we have Cold from the North by D.W. Ross, which is an Onyx-born chronicle. Which is sounds like another Norse kind of inspired book. And the chronicle makes me feel like this is going to be a series of some sort. Interesting. Awesome. So there is a wide variety of books in here. I believe this is all. Yes. This is everything. Like I said, there's a wide variety of books in here. I am going to have to take a pause and decide exactly what it is that I am taking out of this box and then what I am going to replace and put back in it. So I will be back. Okay, I am back and I scurried around my house to see which of these books I actually did have on my shelf. So I do have a copy of Sense and Sensibility. So I do not need to keep the purple one, even though it is really pretty. And I decided that because one of my reading goals for this year is to try to read the things that I already own, I was going to only take the books that I really, really wanted, ones that I either didn't have in any other format because I had one of them on Kindle and was like, oh, well, I could take the physical copy. But in the end, I decided to go with 3 books. And I am going to take Leviathan Wakes because I think, like to give a chance to The Expanse at some point. And if I end up liking it, that's great. If I don't end up liking it, then I can still be thankful that I received the book in this way. And I am going to take the 2 Ashes of Averin books. So I am going to take A Touch of Light and then this Prelude to Ashes. So I am super excited about having those. I'm really looking forward to reading those. And I am just excited that I was a part of this experience. The books that I am going to put back in, so we had kind of agreed in the beginning that we would try to take out and put back in books of a similar size so that the shipping kind of stayed consistent. So I'm hopeful that that will be true. I am going to put in this copy of Elric of Melniboné. I do have one of the illustrated editions, like the new bind-ups of Elric that are coming out. So I have this copy on my shelf that I have never read. I actually bought it not realizing that the illustrated ones were coming out so soon. And so I have never read this one. And I'm, again, like this is where it gets stressful because I'm like, has Kyle read Elric? Maybe, I can't remember. I'm sorry, Kyle, but I am putting this in the box. And then I have Brother Red by Adrian Selby, which is a grimdark standalone that I bought, I think because I had listened to a Brothers Gwyn video where they really liked this and have been talking about it as a standalone, and I kind of impulsively bought it right at the spur of the moment. But despite the fact that I definitely trust their recommendations and they have led me to many, many books, I just have so many books to read and I have no idea when I'm going to get to this one. And like I said, Kyle reads a lot. I'm hopeful that maybe he hasn't read this one and that this could be a nice little standalone for him to throw in. And then the last book that I am putting in is a book that I was double gifted. So this is the 10-year anniversary edition of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Patrick sent me a copy of this book when it was first released because he knew it was one of my favorites and it was coming out. And so he sent it to me and it was a really great surprise. I was gifted this book afterward. I don't remember who gave me this second copy. But I already owned it. So I have been waiting for someone to gift it to. Again, maybe Kyle has already read The Song of Achilles, but this has like never been read. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. So even if you would like to keep this, Kyle, and gift it to someone else in your life that deserves a beautiful book and you think will really like this, I think The Song of Achilles has enough like crossover appeal that it's one that can be used and easily gifted to someone else. So I'm going to toss that in there as well. Hopeful that the kind of size ratio will work out and that they will in fact take this in the mail, because unfortunately I can't drive this over to Kyle's house and drop it off. But that is it. If you have been following along on the playlist, then thank you for watching. Thank you everybody for participating, and I will see you with another video soon. Bye.